everyone, I'm Rifda. Today I'm going to explain about simple tenses as part of my educational content. Maybe you're still confused about when do you study, studied, or will study. Don't worry, in this video, I will help you understand it step by step, so make sure to watch till the end.
First, let's look at the time expressions. In simple present tense, we use always, usually, often, sometimes, seldom, and every day. So, when we see these words, we know the sentence is in simple present tense. Next, let's take a look at the definition of simple present tense. Simple present tense is used to talk about facts, habits, routines, and general truths. Now let's look at the structure of simple present tense. For positive sentences, we use subject plus verb 1. But there is something important to remember. If the subject is he, she, or it, we need to add s or es to the verb. For negative sentences, we use subject plus do or does plus not plus verb 1. And for interrogative sentences, we use do or does plus subject plus verb 1 and question mark. Now, you might be wondering, when do we use do and does? We use do for I, you, we, and they, and we use does for he, she, and it. And remember, after does, the verb goes back to its past form. Now let's move to the examples. For positive sentence, she studies English every night. This sentence tells us about a habit, something she does regularly. The subject is she, so the verb becomes studies. Every night shows this action happens again and again. For negative sentence, she does not study English every night. This sentence shows that the action does not happen as a routine. We use does not because the subject is she and the verb returns to study. It means studying English is not part of her regular activity. For interrogative sentence, does she study English every night? This sentence is used to ask about her habit. We start with does, then use verb 1. So, simple present is used for daily activities. Now let's move to simple past tense, which is used for actions in the past. The time expression are yesterday, last night, last week, last year, 2 days ago. These show the action already happened and is finished, so they are the marker of past tense. Let's talk about what simple past tense is. Simple past tense is used to talk about completed actions in the past. Okay, now let's talk about the structure. For positive sentences, we use subject plus verb 2. The verb changes into its past form to show the action already happened. For negative sentences, we use subject plus did not plus verb 1. After use did not, the verb goes back to the basic form. For interrogative sentences, we use did plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Now let's move to regular and irregular verbs. In simple past tense, verbs are divided into two types, which are regular verbs and irregular verbs. First, let's talk about regular verbs. Regular verbs are verbs that follow a consistent pattern. When changing into the past form by adding ed or d at the end of the verb, for examples, play becomes played, visit becomes visited, talk becomes talked. So regular verbs are easier to use because the pattern is always the same. Next, we have irregular verbs. Irregular verbs are verbs that don't add ed in the past form, and the changes are different for each verb. For examples, say becomes said, know becomes knew. So for the irregular verbs, we usually need to memorize the forms because each verb can change differently. Now, to make it easier to understand, let's look at some examples of regular and irregular verbs in sentences. Examples for regular verbs. For positive sentence, I watched a movie at home last night. This is a regular verb because watch become watch by adding ed. Last night shows that the action happened in the past. For negative sentence, I did not watch a movie with my family last night. Even though it is past tense, the verb goes back to watch because of did not. For interrogative sentence, did you watch a movie at home last night? We use did at the beginning and the verb stays in verb 1. Examples for irregular verbs. For positive sentence, I saw a movie at home last night. This is an irregular verb because see changed to saw, not sit. For negative sentence, I did not see the movie last night. After did not, the verb returns to see, not saw. For interrogative sentence, did you see the movie at home last night? Again, we use did and the verb stays in verb 1. So we have learned about action in the present and the past. Now let's see how to talk about action in the future. The time expressions are tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, soon, later. This shows the action will happen in the future. So they are the marker of future tense. Let's talk about the definition of simple future tense. Simple future tense is used to talk about actions that will happen in the future. To understand it better, let's look at the structure. For positive sentences, we use subject plus will plus verb 1. Will shows that the action will happen later. For negative sentences, we use subject plus will plus not plus verb 1. We use not to show the action will not happen. For interrogative sentences, we use will plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. We put will at the beginning to make a question. Let's move to the examples. For positive sentence, I will meet my teacher after class tomorrow. Will shows the action will happen in the future. For negative sentence, I will not meet my teacher in the morning. We use will not to show the action will not happen. For interrogative sentence, will you meet your teacher after class tomorrow? We use will to ask about a future activity. After learning each tense, let's compare them to see the differences. Here we use the same activity, but in different tenses. For positive sentences in simple present, they study in the library every afternoon. This shows a routine because it happens regularly. In simple past, they studied in the library yesterday afternoon. The subject is studied, and yesterday show the action is already happened. In simple future, they will study in the library tomorrow afternoon. Will shows the action will happen later. For negative sentences, in simple present, they don't study in the library on weekends. We use don't because the subject is they, and it shows the activity does not happen regularly. In simple past, they didn't study in the library last weekend. We use didn't to show the activity did not happen before. In simple future, they won't study in the library next weekend. We use won't to show the activity will not happen later. For interrogative sentences, in simple present, do they study in the library every afternoon? This question is about a routine activity. In simple past, did they study in the library yesterday afternoon? This question is about a past activity. In simple future, will they study in the library tomorrow afternoon? This question is about a future plan. Let's move to the second slide. For positive sentences, he plays basketball in the park every evening. The verb use plays because the subject is he, and every evening shows a habit. In simple past, he played basketball in the park yesterday afternoon. The verb changes to played, showing the action already happened. In simple future, he will play basketball in the park tomorrow afternoon. Will shows the action will happen in the future. For negative sentences, in simple present, he doesn't play basketball in the rain. We use doesn't because the subject is he and the verb goes back to play. In simple past, he didn't play basketball in the rain. We use didn't to show the action did not happen before. In simple future, he won't play basketball in the rain. We use won't to show the action will not happen. For interrogative sentences, in simple present, does he play basketball in the park every evening? We use does because the subject is he, and this question asks about a habit. In simple past, did he play basketball in the park yesterday afternoon? We use did to ask about a past action. In simple future, will he play basketball in the park tomorrow afternoon? We use will to ask about a future activity. So, from all these comparisons, we can see that present is used for routines, past is used for finished actions, future is used for plans or actions that have not happened. After learning about simple tenses, let's see how we understand it. It's time for a short quiz. Thank you guys for watching this video till end. Bye, see you next time.